Also on Joining Prime tonight, losing a loved one can be very traumatizing, and in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, the grieving process can be much more difficult for bereaved families. This is because under normal circumstances, people tend to rely on each other for support in times like these by coming together to offer comfort to each other. Unfortunately, coronavirus pandemic has wreaked havoc on many of these norms. This is due to the restrictions placed on social gatherings in major parts of the world. Ghana is no exception, as the ban on social gatherings like funerals still remain in force. Joy News's Beryl Ernestina Richter looks at the trend of funerals among the Ghana people. Family and friends mourn the loss of their loved one, Rosamond Makudowona. They wail and burst into dirges as the remains of their loved one lies in state at the Cornelius Adumwa Dowona Way in Osu. Some visibly shaken family members and friends are unable to hold back their tears as they file past the body of the deceased. There are no comforting hugs or handshakes. As the people mourn, they are also mindful of contracting the virus. An elder of the family, Jonathan Norte Dowona, explains they decided to strictly abide by the restrictions on social gathering, even during the planning of the burial and funeral of their deceased relative.
It was decided at the pre-burial meeting on 28 April to abide by the President's directive. We only allowed them to briefly extend their condolences to the family. One of the main features, according to Ga customs and traditions, that precedes the bathing of the corpse is Kochagbamo. This rite is very significant among the Ga people. Before the outbreak of coronavirus in Ghana, this ceremony was characterized by elaborate fanfare and extravagance. Here is Nomo Blafo III, Gablafo Wulomo of Asre.
Currently, it's done in a way as if people are going to marriage or something. But during this period, you find about 2 or 3 people just carrying this thing to where they're supposed to take it, or to the house where the Kojagbamo will be performed. Before, the few people who just go and bat the corpse, they will only go to the mortuary.
Dennis Ni Ajay is one of the sons of the deceased. He strongly believes his late mother would be happy with the family's decision to organize a small gathering.
I know and believe that she will be very happy.
The Dowona family is not the only one to have taken the decision to bury their departed loved one in this COVID restrictions era. Here at Transitions Funeral Home Hacho, family of the late Stephen Abbey is holding a private funeral ceremony for their deceased relative.
The outbreak of COVID-19 has changed the way we do lots of things in this country, especially social gathering. Behind me is how the impact of COVID-19 has changed the style of funerals. The family of the late Stephen Kweku Abbey have had to do with only about 20 members here to mourn and pay their last respects to their loved one. On a normal funeral day, this hall would be filled to capacity, but because of COVID-19, the story is different.
An elder of the family and cousin of the deceased, Michael Nimate, admits it has not been an easy decision.
After
the outbreak of coronavirus, we had a lot of disagreement on the date for the burial and funeral. Eventually, we made a decision to bury him quickly due to the President's directive. This is a special burial because the usual comment about shortage of food and drinks associated with large funerals is absent.
A whole lot of things will happen here.
Grace Ofosudonko is the sales and marketing manager at Transitions Funeral Home. According to her, convincing families to organize private burials has been difficult.
So it's not been easy. We will call, follow up with messages, follow up with invoices and all that, but it's difficult for it to sink into a lot of clients.
As a business, she said, they have had to devise innovative ways for their burial packages to encourage clients to hold private burials during this period. As some families are left with no choice than to organize private burials for their loved ones, there are concerns that certain aspects of our unique culture may be relegated to the background, but Nomo Blafo III disagrees. He maintains large and extravagant funerals that have become the norm these days is a departure from the Ga traditional culture.
Before, in fact, the funeral, that is the wakekeeping, the funeral, and then the next day, Adechani, it got to a point where even during the funeral, that is where you see people even cooking on the grounds of the funeral, which wasn't done before. But today, in fact, it even becomes more of like a party or even a wakekeeping. So the pandemic, I would say, has taken us back to where we were before. And to me, it's more, if we can just maintain it and sustain this, then more of the culture will be seen.
If the coronavirus pandemic persists, people will have to come to terms with organizing more private burials. Perhaps the virus is painfully teaching families to spend more money on the living and not the dead. Beryl Ernestina Richter's report for Joy News.